Come on and get your some. Come on and get your some.
You know you're powerful when your enemies recruit to destroy you. You keep telling me I ain't nothing. If I'm not nothing, fight me by yourself. But the fact that you had to call my ex, my next, and everybody else to fight me shows me that you thought I was something I did. Do you know your enemies will tell you who you are?
I don't think y'all heard that. Y'all gonna have to hear that one more time. One more again. Let it play again.
You know you're powerful when your enemies recruit to destroy you. You keep telling me I ain't nothing. If I'm not nothing, fight me by yourself. But the fact that you had to call my ex, my next, and everybody else to fight me shows me that you thought I was something I did. Do you know your enemies will tell you who you are?
That is some gem right there. Doesn't matter if it's from a pastor, doesn't matter if it's from a therapist, doesn't matter if it's from your principal, your boss, doesn't matter if it's from the old lady down the road who you don't even like. Game is game, and truth is the truth no matter who tells it. Shout out to Willie D, I got that one right there from him, and whoever he got that one from. But yeah, man, a lot of us are too often focused on the enemy and what they bring, the people who they bring and the energy that they bring to get rid of you. And a lot of times,
You hold your head up on your own, boy. You hold your head up on your own, boy.
So we're halfway through 20.
A lot of fandoms have dragons, some more awesome than others. Digimon fans are lucky to have a design as great as Examon. As every Digimon, Examon had to go through a few evolutions to get to the formidable dragon, so let's see how his story evolved. This story begins with the adorable looking Petitmon, a slime Digimon with large horns and small wings. He is very light and always floats in the air, maintaining his posture in the air with his wings and mouth sighing. He has a cheerful personality, but he has 3 scales on his stomach, and when they are touched, he feels extremely ill. When danger approaches, it is not easy to catch him because he surprises the other party by exhaling the attack Hot Breath. At the same time, the sighs are used as propulsion to quickly escape. Babydmon is a baby dragon Digimon that has evident traces of a dragon in his body. Although this is a recently discovered Digimon, as a result of data analysis, it has been found that he has a program code characteristic to ancient Digimon, and it has become clear that he belongs to a lost ancient species Digimon. Although Babydmon is small, he is ferocious, and if someone moves carelessly in front of him, they will be sprayed with the high temperature gas called hot gas generated in the body. Hot gas contains spicy ingredients in addition to heat, so if it gets in someone's eyes, they should rinse them immediately. Dracomon is an ancient, pure-blood dragon Digimon that is said to be the ancestor of all Dramon-type Digimon. Dracomon has physical abilities that cannot be easily imagined from the small body and is one of the top-class Digimon among the child levels in terms of both power and agility. His personality is very ferocious, but only the opponents recognized by Dracomon may see his docile side. He has wings but cannot fly because they are underdeveloped. Also, as a major feature, he has the urge to collect shining things, and he is especially attached to gems and metals, and he eats and ingests whatever he likes. Dracomon has the data attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The special attacks are Baby Breath, which blows hot sighs on the opponent, and Tail Smash, which rotates the whole body to hit with the tail. One of the scales that covers the whole body of Dracomon is called reverse scales. If someone touches this, Dracomon loses his mind due to anger and shoots the beam bullet G Shurunen that is released from the mouth after making the corner of the head emit light intensely. Dracomon has an X Sentai body variant. The wings have developed and he is now able to fly for short periods. However, the true use of the wings lies in the change in attack method rather than flight. By changing the position of the wings to the arm, he is able to create a forward wind and attack a wide range of enemies by exhaling the flame baby blaze from the mouth that gets carried by the wind. In addition, the corners of the head play a role of dissipation of heat increased in the body by the X Sentai body, and the temperature of the corners has reached an ultra-high temperature. It seems that the power of Smash Horn that charges the opponent with the ultra-high temperature horn far exceeds the level of the child form. This is where the evolution goes two separate ways, but later reunites to create a great force of power. The first evolution line begins with Dracomon evolving into Corgemon Blue. The Digimon bearing the name Dramon always has Dragon Factor data in the Digicore, and the higher the ratio of the Dragon Factor data, the more the shape of the body becomes a dragon shape. Corgemon's Dragon Factor data ratio is 100%, which is without a doubt a pure-blooded dragon-shaped Digimon. As I mentioned earlier in the video, Dracomon likes to collect and eat shiny things. The blue-skinned Core Dramon is said to have evolved from Dracomon, who has ingested a large amount of a rare gem called Blue Diamond, which is mined only in mountainous areas of extremely high altitudes. He can fly at high speed with his wings. Corgemon Blue has the vaccine attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The special attacks are Blue Flame Breath, which emits a scorching breath that shines blue, and Strike Bomber, which uses a tough tail to give a powerful blow to the opponent. Blue Fair Breath has the effect of decomposing the texture data that covers the body surface of Digimon, and Digimon that receive this breath will be susceptible to attacks on their exposed Digicores. Like Dracomon, Corgemon Blue has scales called reverse scales, and if someone touches them, he will get very angry, and the diffused laser beam G Shurunen 2 will be emitted from his mouth after making the corners of his head emit intense light. Corgemon Blue evolves into Wingdramon, a sky dragon Digimon that has greatly developed wings and can fly freely in the sky. Since the scales of the wings can block gravity, they can fly without flapping. He rarely lands on the ground and spends most of his time in the air. It is said that the flight speed exceeds 20 Mach and few Digimon will survive in aerial battles with Wingdramon. He has the vaccine attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The special attacks are the Scorching Breath Blaze Sonic Breath that is shot from the mouth at the speed exceeding the speed of sound, and the Explode Sonic Lance, accelerating to the maximum speed, plunging into the opponent and hitting them with a spear on the back. Also, since the speed of Wingdramon exceeds the speed of sound, a shock wave called Wing Blast is generated, so even if someone dodges Wingdramon's special attack, they cannot remain unharmed. Wingdramon evolves into Slayerdramon, a dragon-human Digimon dressed in Chrome Digizoid scale armor. It is said that only those who have completed the training called Trial of the Four Great Dragons can reach this form. Only Dragon Digimon can enter this challenge. He has the vaccine attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. Slayerdramon is tinged with the telescopic large sword Fragarach. In Irish mythology, Fragarach, also known as the Whisperer, the Answerer, or the Retaliator, is the sword of Nuada, the first high can pierce original ultimate sword method Dragon Sword. There are three forms of Dragon Sword: Blind Blade. The other evolution line starts with Dracomon evolving into Corgemon Green. Just like Corgemon Blue, this Digimon is also 100% pure-blooded dragon. The Green Core Dramon is said to be an evolution of Dracomon, who has ingested a large amount of a rare gem called Green Malachite, mined in forest areas with trees over 100 years old. This type of Corgemon is not good at flying, but their leg strength is very developed, and they can run at a speed that cannot be easily imagined from their body. Corgemon Green has the virus attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The special attacks are Green Flare Breath, which gives off a burning breath that shines green, and Strike Bomber, which uses a tough tail to give a painful blow to the opponent. Green Flare Breath has a very high permeability and has the effect of passing through the texture data of the body's surface and directly damaging the Digicore. Like Dracomon, Corgemon Green has scales called reverse scales, and if someone touches them, he will get very angry, and the diffused laser beam G Shurunen 2 will be emitted from his mouth after making the corners of his head emit intense light. Corgemon Green evolves into Groundramon, an Earth Dragon Digimon with large arms on the back. The arms on the back are said to be mutated wings, and he is able to dig the ground efficiently. Groundramon usually lurks in tunnels dug deep underground and rarely appears on the surface. Also, it has been found that Groundramon tends to prefer to inhabit rare veins of Huanlong ore, which is a naturally occurring ore in the digital world from which chrome digizoid metal is derived, and it is highly possible that the scales covering his body contain components of Huanlong ore. He is one of the Digimon whose personality is extremely ferocious, and since most of those who encountered him have died, his detailed ecology is unknown. Groundramon has the virus attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The special attacks are Scrapless Claw, which pinches the opponent with his back arms and crushes them, and Megaton Hammer Crash, which beats them down with an iron ball at the tail. When he comes out to the surface of the earth, he may activate Giga Crack that drops the opponent to the ground, generating a crack that swallows the opponent's body. Groundramon evolves into Breakdramon, a giant dragon Digimon whose entire existence is said to be with the purpose to destroy everything on the ground. He has succeeded in capturing design data of various heavy construction machines by hacking when he evolves, and has performance and power that surpasses other machine-type Digimon. However, in exchange for excellent mechanical performance, the closer to zero the biological parts are, the more the motives and feelings are lost. Therefore, he is not afraid of damaging his own body and is feared as the ultimate destructive dragon that repeats destruction until he decays. Breakdramon has the virus attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar field. The attacks are Destroyed Rush that repeatedly hits the earth with the left and right excavator arms at super high speed and tears the ground. Infinity Boring that fires all the drills in the body, crushing mountains. Gravity Press, in which he flattens everything by pressing his body mass. Nothing remains alive where Breakdramon passes. Breakdramon has a variant called Giga Breakdramon. His special attacks are Destroyed Rush, Gravity Press, and Infinity Boring. This is where two evolution forms, Sledramon and Breakdramon, fuse into an even greater dragon, Examon, a Holy Knight Digimon that is one of the 13 Holy Guardians of the digital world called Royal Knights. This is a Digimon with a tremendous amount of data, and he was discovered because he could not be rendered with conventional digital devices. His name is based on exabyte, a large unit of computer data storage. He was finally possible to render the dragon and his pressing his body attacks are destroyed. Breakdramon has a variant called where Breakdramon flattens everything by pressing his body mass. Nothing remains alive where Breakdramon passes. Breakdramon has a variant called Giga Breakdramon. His special attacks are Destroyed Rush, Gravity Press, and Infinity Boring. This is where Examon forms Sledramon and Break. This is where two evolution forms, Sledramon and Breakdramon, fuse into an even greater dragon, Examon, a Holy Knight Digimon that is one of the 13 Holy Guardians of the digital world called Royal Knights. This is a Digimon with a tremendous amount of data, and he was discovered because he could not be rendered with conventional digital devices. His name is based on exabyte, a large unit of computer data storage. He was finally possible to render with the performance of state-of-the-art digital devices. Although Examon belongs to the Royal Knights, he stands at the top of all Dragon Digimon at the same time and has the nickname of Dragon Emperor. He has huge willing wings Kaledfalch and a huge lance Ambrosius. Kaledfalch is a special wing made entirely of chrome digizoid, and at the discretion of Kaledfalch it sometimes becomes a wing for flying and sometimes a shield that protects Examon. The Welsh name for King Arthur's sword was Kaledfalch, which means cleaving what is hard. It later developed to become the Caliburn in the story by Geoffrey of Monmouth, and finally the Frenchified Excalibur that we know today. The Lance Ambrosius is loaded with special bullets that have various effects, making Examon's attacks diverse. Ambrosius Aurelianus was a 5th century Roman leader in Britain who figures prominently in the early Arthurian legends. Some scholars believe Ambrosius provided one of the historical bases for the legend of King Arthur. Axemon has the data attribute and belongs to the Dragon's Roar and Virus Buster's fields. The special attack is piercing the enemy with Ambrosius, exploding all special shells and destroying and extinguishing the enemy from the inside, called Avalon's Gate. And soaring above the atmosphere, performing high-power laser shooting from Ambrosius, called Pendragon's Glory. Also, the Draconic Impact, which plunges from outside the atmosphere and hits the body with heat generated from the friction with the atmosphere, is accompanied by a shock wave, so it is possible to wipe out a wide range of enemies. Axemon has an X-Antibody variant. The data of the Holy Knight was extracted and the knight-like appearance of a helmet and armor appeared. The power of the dragon and the Holy Knight types overflows and swirls, creating a draconic plasma. 12 Thunder Sword Borei Ragaha appears from the lightning bolt that fell from the draconic plasma and are released toward the enemy. Ultimate Battle Dragon Lance Ambrosius that emits high energy is sentient, and the amount of energy released changes depending on the strength of the enemy. The special attack Pendragon Sparkle, which pierces the enemy with the fully released Ultimate Battle Dragon Spear Ambrosius and drops a large lightning strike from the draconic plasma, cannot be endured by any enemy. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please consider supporting me on